One more day until freedom, and I am so ready for it. Man, what a long week, but I got all of you guys to help me get through it. I know you guys are tired too, but it's a Thursday in the heart of the Riverbend at 9:01. Time to get this morning show started so we can creep closer and closer to Friday and get the much-needed rest that we all need tonight. I'll be out over at the United Way's Power of the Purse. They asked me to go and present one of their purses for the Edwardsville YMCA. I'm really excited to do that and learn even more about, the great things United Way does. And coming up on the show, it's Thursday, so that means Theater Thursday with Lee Cox. We're talking to Lee Cox and Kevin Frakes today because we're going to be talking about Ding Dong next week. The start of it. So what we're going to do is get a little bit of some, highlight material on Monday during that dress rehearsal. So for the next Theater Thursday, we get a little bit of some insights and a little bit of a preview of what's to come. And I'm really looking forward to talking about all things Alton Little Theater in just about a couple of minutes. And then at 10:10, a brand new segment starts called Salute to Service. I'm really excited about this. This is with Alton VFW, where we get to learn even more about the great things that Alton VFW Post 1308 does right here in our community. And I mean, there's so many things that I'm still learning each time they come on the show, and I know you guys are too, so really excited to be joined by our friends at Alton VFW. Then at 10:35, we're joined by Tony Favillo because it's Free Comic Book Day, and Heroic Fantasy Books and Games is going to be joining us to talk about their selection of comics and ways that you can get your hands on a free comic book coming up soon. So a lot of great stuff happening on this daily show on this 27th day of April. It's now time for me to take you to what's happening around the Riverbend. And also my time to tell you to sign up for your daily email update, and you will never miss out. You can join over 60,000 of us that stay in the know with a daily email update called Around the Riverbend. Plus, we get breaking news alerts and everything else we need to get us through the day, and that water cooler conversation with your daily dose of local on RiverBender.com. We'll take you to Edwardsville first. Roger Smith, the former chief deputy coroner in Madison County, announced today his decision to seek the Republican Party's nomination for coroner in 2024. Smith worked for the coroner's office for 32 years before retiring in 2021. He was the chief deputy coroner of the last 11 years of that term. A quote, "I consider the position of coroner to be a calling, not a job," stated Smith. "It is about earnestly seeking the facts surrounding an individual's death and assuring that they were not harmed by another. It is about helping families and loved ones find their way during the worst moments of their lives. I commit to serving as coroner with honor, dignity, and respect the citizens and taxpayers of Madison County deserve." Smith promises, if elected, to suspend collecting the IMRF pension and will decline to participate in the pension system if elected coroner. A quote, "I'm willing to forego those payments because it's the right thing to do," stated Smith. "I respect the taxpayers too much to ask them to pay me twice for the privilege of serving this office." Since retiring, Smith has maintained his National Death Investigator certification and uses his experience to train other coroner personnel for the Illinois Coroner Training Board. He also serves as a consultant to both the Illinois Violent Death Reporting System and the statewide Unintentional Drug Overdose Reporting System. Smith is a lifelong resident of Madison County and was born and raised in Granite City. He resides in rural Madison County with his wife of 27 years, Circuit Judge Amy Mayer. Once again, if you're just tuning in, to kick off our top of the hour news, Roger Smith announcing his decision to seek the Republican Party's nomination for coroner in 2024. Also in the news today, submitted by the Illinois State Police, on April the 24th, the St. Clair County State's Attorney's Office approved one count of first-degree murder, that's a Class M felony, and one count of aggravated battery with a firearm, a Class X felony, for 33-year-old James D. O'Neill of Belleville. The charges are stemming from a 2017 shooting that left one individual fatally wounded and one individual severely injured. On August the 13th of 2017, the Illinois State Police Zone 6 and East St. Louis Police Department responded to a reported shooting in the former Norman E. Owens housing complex in East St. Louis, where 21-year-old Philip S. Smith of East St. Louis and 21-year-old male of Belleville had been struck by gunfire. During an attempted robbery, Smith succumbed to his injuries, and the 21-year-old Belleville man was transported to an area hospital with multiple gunshot wounds and was later released. After a thorough investigation, ISP agents arrested 20-year-old Devontae Lindsay of Centerville, Illinois, on November the 3rd of 2017, and 24-year-old Siobhan Brownlee of East St. Louis, Illinois, on November the 15th of 2017 in connection to the shooting. Those individuals have since been sentenced to the Illinois Department of Corrections. On April the 25th of this year, ISP agents along with the United States Marshals arrested the 33-year-old James D. O'Neill of Belleville on the above charge. O'Neill is housed at a St. Clair County jail. No further information can be disseminated at this time. We will keep you updated. And just remember, the public is reminded that all persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Also in the news today from Wood River, the William M. DeBell Achievement and Resource Center will host its 41st annual dance and auction from 7 to 11 p.m. on Saturday, November the 5th. The event will take place at the Knights of Columbus Hall at 1713 Stamper Lane in Godfrey. Board member Shirley Weedman has organized the dance since 1980 and has been a primary fundraiser of the agency. Chairing the event this year are John and Christy Hamilton of Fosterburg. The Hamiltons have been attending the dance for 15 years, Kristen said. A quote, "I grew up with the Weedman family and spent time at their home. Shirley has always welcomed us to the event, and we've enjoyed it." John added, "My father said the Arc Dance has been one of the premier events in the community for many years, and we're happy to be a part of it." Kristen, is a physical therapist for OSF St. Anthony's Health Center, and John is co-owner of Hamilton Fabrication and Steel and Farms with his family. Tickets to the dance are $20 per person. Fried chicken, beer, and soda will be provided. Those who attend are asked to bring appetizers, side dishes, or desserts. Entertainment will be provided by Downright DJs. According to Executive Director Chad Rollings, funds from the dance and the auction will be used to purchase a new van to transport disabled individuals to community day service programs, community events, and medical appointments. The William M. DeBell Achievement and Resource Center is a nonprofit organization serving individuals with developmental disabilities throughout Madison County. To sponsor the event, donate an auction item, or to purchase tickets to the dance, you can call the ARC at 618-251-2175, and contributions can be mailed to ARC, P.O. Box 349, Wood River, Illinois 62095, or BEDELLARC.org. Also in the news today from Springfield, Illinois State Representative Amy Ellick of Alton and her House Republican colleagues are calling for a moratorium on expansion and state audit of Illinois billion-dollar health benefits program for undocumented immigrants. At a Capitol press conference in Springfield, State Representative Amy Ellick, a Republican of Alton, Deputy Republican leaders Noreen Hammond and Ryan Spain, along with Assistant Republican leader C.D. Davidsmeyer, Republican from Jacksonville, highlighted a bombshell state report detailing the massive cost and enrollment expansion of Illinois health benefits program for undocumented immigrants. A report from the Department of Healthcare and Family Services shows that HFS and its contracted actuarial firm, Millman, repeatedly underestimated actual enrollees and costs, and FY24 estimates now show over 108,000 additional eligible documented immigrants over the original fiscal year of 2023. The additional Medicaid pressure for the expansions is happening at the same time the state is expected to lose over $760 million in additional federal fundings through the Enhanced Federal Medical Assistance Program that was provided to states during the pandemic. Several important state programs are still drastically underfunded and could greatly benefit from the $990 million in the GRF that would go to the HFS to continue to provide medical services. HB 1570 has not been debated and not standalone vote taken on this benefit expansion, and Davidsmeyer suggested if recent history is any guide, for the fourth time will the expansion added to the upcoming 2024 BIMP bill or some other massive omnibus bill at the end of the general session. One final bit of news right here as we're wrapping up top of the hour news on this 27th day of April. In Alton, Post Commons, a coffee house, and the living room of Alton is hosting its first ever wedding expo this Sunday, April the 30th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The event will feature over 35 vendors, free mimosas, prize giveaways, a coffee bar, food, and so much more. Each attendee will receive a free mimosa with their ticket purchase, as well as the chance to win 50% off a venue rental at Post Commons. Tickets can be purchased for $10 online with a link directly taking you there on the Riverbender article to buy their tickets before Friday. Those will be entered to win a free engagement photography session with solely photography. Over 35 vendors will be at this wedding expo, offering everything from photography services to food samples and so much more. Post Commons is located at 300 Albee Street in Alton. To learn more, visit the Wedding Expo Eventbrite link, which is on the Post Commons Facebook page, on the RiverBender.com article, or just head on over to the Post Commons website to learn more. It's 9:12 on this 27th day of April. We'll take a quick break. It's Theater Thursday next.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today. Thursday with 2 of my favorites, Kevin Frakes, Lee Cox, Alton Little Theater. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good morning. We're great. We're almost a week out from opening Ding Dong, and so I brought the star with me this morning.
Now, are you the mini timing lover in this, Kevin?
I am.
Oh, no.
It's not really supposed to. You don't think it's going to be that way, but everybody just kind of goes after him. So, which is kind of fun, actually.
All the mature ladies, they're like, okay, there's a guy here. We're gonna go after him.
Well, that's great. I'm excited because Monday we're going to pop in during dress rehearsals and get a little bit of a preview package going because we're going to move theater Thursday to Friday next week because of some scheduling issues. But I'm excited to get a little bit of a preview of what's to come. Have ticket salesmen going good?
Pretty well. Mother's Day, we're having a big celebration, and I know people have family things in, but I think it's the perfect gift if you haven't gotten anything for mom, you know.
Season tickets.
Yeah,
you go.
season tickets, but even this is $20. We have champagne, we have a raffle, we have gift certificates from my Just Desserts to give away, so it's a really good deal.
Well, that's what I've been telling because, I talk about you guys at least 4 times a week and,
know you do.
Try to make sure we talk. And that's my big pitch is, guys, why keep going to the same places every year for Mother's Day? They're getting burnt out of it. Go
Yes.
enjoy Alton Little Theater. There's not a bad seat in the house.
Well, no, and we're so reasonable.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, you go across the river. Good luck finding anything that's that affordable for what you're getting with the ticket.
And they can go out to lunch and come to the 2:00 matinee, or then go out to dinner afterwards. They
That's
can
right.
have the whole shebang. Get dressed up a little bit, have some fun.
I'm telling you what. I was talking to Mike Haynes, the Park and Rec director, who had season tickets for the '89 season, and said, "CJ, I have never been so impressed in my life. This has been amazing." And they never bought tickets before. Thought, let's try something new, and they were so happy with it. And I'm telling you what, you guys will be too.
Well,
I
that
think-
makes us happy.
Yeah, I think the word little theater sometimes,
Yeah.
they think, it's just a little place to go and stuff. But, we do some fantastic shows there. And we've had so many of our regulars come up to us and say, they've canceled their tickets at the Fox. They've canceled their tickets to stages. They just come to us now.
Well, I get it because to me, I mean, you guys have great performers and the shows are amazing. That Violet Sharp, I'm still talking about. It was a great performance, then just something that, to me, I being naive to this, when I went, I didn't expect, didn't know what to expect, and I go, why are you driving 40 minutes and dealing with the crime and then the traffic to get there?
And spending $100 a ticket.
Yeah, exactly. Well, our 2 brand new players in the next show, they are so excited that you're coming Monday night. They're like, they're sort of in awe of everything and a little scared because they're like, nobody prompts you on your lines if you mess up. We're like,
Nope.
no.
You're on your own.
So you can't go, line.
Yeah. No, I said, that stops Sunday. You don't get that after tech rehearsal.
Yeah.
That is so great. And I'm telling you what, I'm excited about this. So take me through Ding Dong a little bit more because I've read this preview. I've kind of summarized it, but this is a whole lot of fun.
It is. Well, it boils down to this gentleman finds out in a strange way that his wife is having an affair. So he grabs her telephone and he texts the guy, and so he thinks it's coming from her, and he says, "Meet me at the house." So he thinks he's going to be meeting his lover. But he's actually meeting the husband. So he shows up, and of course they have a huge confrontation. And he gives him an option. He says, well, I could kill you, or let me sleep with your wife.
The negotiations on.
Yes. And so, of course, he doesn't want to be killed.
Right.
So he decides to bring his wife, and he invites him to dinner and stuff, thinking that he's bringing his wife. Well, he actually brings a prostitute. Because he does
A sophisticated call
yes,
girl.
a sophisticated call girl, and because he didn't want to bring his wife, and so the fun starts there. But in the middle of all that, his wife actually shows up. And so everybody's there now. So, and people start changing names, and they start doing all kinds of stuff. And
the maid has a crush on
the
you.
maid, all the women have crushes on the lead character, and it's just crazy. It is the craziest show.
It seems like there's a lot of moving parts to this where you are not going to be taking many breaths watching.
No, and I have like 400 lines.
Yes, he does. He does.
You're almost ready to campaign.
No, I'm...
No, he's ready to kill me.
Yeah, I'm ready to kill her. She goes, "Oh, you'll have so much fun in this show." I said, "Okay," and I picked it up. I went, have you seen these lines?
What are you doing to me?
And of course, it's French, so we all have to have the French accent.
Now, that's an interesting topic because to me, I don't know accents or any type of dialect. So how do you prepare for some? I mean, are you at home using this, trying to get the...
Yeah, my wife, it's like, what are you saying? Well, you're out normal and all of a sudden you start talking like this, and it's like people are looking at you like you're crazy. But it's like, then everybody else says they're doing it too. They go home and they're talking to their spouses and stuff, and they all went, what are you doing?
That's incredible. And now I got to ask you, Lee, last time we talked, Kevin, you were directing Violet Sharp. Lee, you're directing Ding Dong. So how are you guys able to, maneuver that, and is it just interchangeable where one, show's done, the next one starts and you guys just are in your role?
Oh, it's
absolutely.
crazy.
He's already had his first auditions for Spamalot, even though I tell him, stop thinking about that show. Stop thinking about that show.
Well, we roll.
You have to,
We just
though.
roll one after the other.
have
Because when we close down on the Sunday, Monday, we start our next show.
Yes.
It's that quick?
Yep,
It's
that's what we
that
do.
quick.
I don't know
that
how
comes
you guys
down,
are...
and then he builds the next one. But it's taken us about 10 years. But yeah, we do probably 80-90% of a big function for every show. Wow. So we just kind of switch hats and assist each other, and it works. So
it's a lot of work though. So and it's stressful at times because actually we're both just 25. So we're
no, we're both very stubborn.
Yeah, we're both.
And we have strong opinions about things. That's why it's taken about 10 years for us to get this seamless partnership going.
So I got to ask you this because you guys have both, acted in plays that, one of you guys have directed, it seems like. How does the relationship change when, you're working with each other on an administrative level and you're organizing shows and you're getting things going, and then now you're, a performer in the play underneath a director?
I actually love it because there's a trust. I hope he's going to say the same thing. There's a trust. I mean, I don't have to worry about him as much. I mean, other than the overall idea, or we try costumes on, or something. When I have a seasoned performer, it's like, okay, because then I have a little more time to work with the new people, or even the people who have had a little experience at bad theaters. And sometimes I have to unlearn, help them.
Well, and
That's
I have a
a
tendency,
great point.
I can turn it off. I can put on my different hats. And when I'm a director, I'm the director. And when I'm in the show, I turn it off because I have a lot of the actors come up to me. Well, wonder if we tried this. I said, there's your director out there. Talk to her.
Yeah, and he does. He's very polite about that, and so it's
because
not
it's
really an
you
issue.
have to turn it off, and because everybody has their own vision of a show.
Exactly.
And even though the show pretty much ends up the same way, her vision's a little different than mine at times.
Lots of foo-foo things on the set.
and it's really no right or wrong. It's just what you think you should do. So I really try hard to turn it off.
Well, and too, it must help too with Kevin, when you're on like you said, helping those younger performers. You're experienced a hell of a lot more than a lot of other actors and performers, where you can go, hey, maybe this, and you can adapt on the fly. I love this. This is a great
And
partnership.
even simple things. So many people will turn their back to the audience. They don't understand the staging of the magic.
I
of
like the
of
ideas.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, no, you can't do that. They're like, well, how do I get to the door on the terrace? And we showed them how to walk.
It's a
to
flow.
The door.
There's a flow to everything, and that's and they have to learn that.
Well, and you hit on something, Lee, that I think's really a great point too, and it's something that I deal with at the other stuff with wrestling is not. I don't want to say, I hate to pick on anybody, but some folks that were not trained the correct way, and you guys have to relearn or unlearn skills and relearn them again, then get ready for the performance, in that kind of role. Is it exciting for you guys to help unlearn some bad habits from other folks and develop?
Well, it's been funny. I think I told you Darla Hooks is a female wrestler and champion, and here she has to be soft and sensual. She could take both the guys in a heartbeat, you know. And so
she could.
I've worked on the girliness. I bought her little panties and high heels and a long Farrah Fawcett wig.
I love this.
It's like the other night. She's supposed to move me back. She's making her move on me, and she's supposed to move me back and put me up against the flat. Well, she's moving back. She forgot to stop and almost threw me through the flat. And she said, "Oh, sorry." And I'm like, yeah, that's okay."
Down for the 3, Darla. I love this. So, what's been the most enjoyable part of preparing for Ding Dong in these rehearsals and, getting everything set up and going?
The set for me, first of all, it's like a playground, and Kevin built this incredible staircase, and everything about his sets is safe. So, the wall almost came down, but it is very safe and straight. And all the doors, farces need lots of doors that open and shut, and then a terrace. And then I wanted a mural because they live across from the Eiffel Tower. So 44 feet by 33 feet, every inch of this stage is used in this. And so it's like a playground. And once in a while, he's the only one, or there's one other person on stage. And that means he has to really command this space. He can't look small up there, which is why I cast this big, tall guy.
It's been a long time since I've looked small.
And I purposely cast a fairly new actor who was in Violet Sharp, who played Septimus Bank. He's really a great guy.
Awesome.
He isn't the bastard that he was on there. So, but he's diminutive. He comes up to his chest.
Right.
So you could easily imagine that he could just stomp him. But they outwit each other. So.
And that to me is the unwritten value of having a good performer like Kevin on stage, is because to me, if you don't have that prowess and you get sucked up by that huge set, then it kind of, the whole atmosphere kind of drifts and shifts away from where it needs to be. That's a great point too.
Well, you have to accept it as your house.
Yeah.
This is your house, and you move around your house a certain way, and you move around the set a certain way, because this is now my house. This is where I live. Wow. And so you feel comfortable moving around, and you do things, to feel comfortable while you're moving around. And if you're that way, the audience accepts that.
It totally makes sense, and because you can't be rigid and stiff and scared to move, where you're living at on stage. It makes a great point, and I got to ask you too with this, because this is something I think is going to be a great performance, because it's the battle of the wits, like you were saying earlier. What has been, to prepare for something like this, where you're, kind of being I hate to say it, but kind of a smug ass almost, and you're trying to outwit each other and you're bringing parts in. How do you prepare to get into that personality, that right frame of mind? Lee, you're laughing. Uh-oh.
Well, I love the two guys because they play this cat and mouse and, kind of, as I said, pissing on their territory. But then they have this camaraderie because they find out that they have things in common. So then they're kind of like, buddies. And even there's one scene where the guy says, "Oh, hold me." And so the maid comes in and thinks now, oh my God, now he's involved with him.
They think I'm sleeping with everybody.
It's a French farce, and the French just love romance in every form and every fashion. And they drink, of course, the entire show, which is an art. To pour champagne and drink much on stage, people don't understand how much practice that takes to keep going and down a whiskey or down.
Eating is actually worse.
Yeah, is worse. It is.
Really? Mm-hmm. Why so?
Well, because you're talking all the time, and you have to time it. So will you eat, swallow, talk, so it's, you don't really think about that normally, but and then you always have to have something to drink along with it. And so eating is kind of an art on stage,
Well, I didn't even think about that, because especially if you're drinking champagne and you maybe drink too much of it or get too much air, and then you're reciting a line and boom, you're burping on the front row.
And people do sneeze, and people do.
Oh, yes,
get
we do.
hiccups.
We do that
But
once in a while.
Barefoot in the Park was my first lead when I was like 20, and I had to eat an entire picnic on the very edge of the stage with someone who was supposed to be blind. So he just, sat there and, kind of came on to me. And I got a write up in the paper back when they did reviews because they said she ate the whole damn meal in front of people. I kept talking.
Yeah, and years ago I had to eat in front of and the audience was real close back then because we didn't even have a stage. So, I mean, the audience was actually, you could almost touch the audience. And I had to eat a sardine and onion sandwich one time, and the sardines' tails are flipping out, and the audience could smell the sardines because they knew I was eating them. They knew they were real. So it's...
Well, that's another point is to make, to connect that this is real, take them right into it, and you have to do some of those things.
Right.
Oh, man. Now, how'd you recover from the sardine and onion?
I actually liked sardines back then, so I didn't have a problem. I picked my own sardines and made my sandwich every night, and so I didn't have a problem. But the audience every night would go, oh!
Oh my God, I love this. And, I'm really excited because, it's so cool too to me is to talk to you guys about your sets because you do, like you said, Lee, this set's gonna be beautiful, but the last one I saw was stunning too. Kevin, how do you design these? I mean, do you just have kind of parts that you used to build that you still have together?
Well, every set is different, of course. Now, there are certain things we reuse and we turn them into other things.
Okay.
But basically, I'm the artistic director, so when somebody's doing a show or I'm doing a show, I picture it in my head. You picture it, and I'm kind of crazy that way because I never put anything down on paper. When I build these sets, I build them all out of my mind. And
I do this little crude drawing, and I say, "Can you make this?"
Which makes it kind of hard for people to come up and help me because they say, "So where's your plans?" I say, "They're right here," and so I just tell them what to do, because I create a lot of times as I go. And but I've built some beautiful sets through the years, and it's a lot of fun. I wish because it would have been thousands by now that I would have built. I would have thought I would close to that. I wish I would have taken pictures of every one of them. Had a scrapbook.
Oh, that would have been cool.
I've had some really nice ones. I've had some. They're okay, but
honesty.
It depends on the show.
Well,
I mean, sometimes the show.
Sometimes the directors, their vision isn't really set, and I know that's an art form, but again, you could call it stubborn, but I know exactly what I want. There's never any doubt about it, and so I do think he can create it sometimes, humming while he's creating it or swearing a little bit. Like she has to have French doors.
Son of a gun.
She has to have. I was like, could I have doors that open? I wanted every door to be different.
Yeah.
Because if you have all those doors and the front door, I needed it to be gold.
But one of the biggest and neatest ones was when I did Man of La Mancha.
Yes.
So the set itself went up so high. Man of La Mancha, you have that dungeon that you walk down into. It actually went up into the lights.
2 stories,
And so when the door opened, you saw the bottom of the door actually open, and you first saw the guy's feet when they start walking down the steps all the way down.
Oh, that's cool.
It was very cool. And then we had a grade and 2 sets of stairs.
Right.
And the working windmill.
I had a working windmill on stage.
Yes. Then we had shades coming.
And
I can't even make a doghouse.
then a few years ago, we actually had a plane that was from wing to wing, 15 feet long, land on that stage. You've seen that stage. It actually landed on the stage.
No way.
And we did that every night.
Yep.
And it was up in by the lights, and we designed it so it didn't get in the way. The audience couldn't even see it. And then I was behind stage, and I put the crank and stuff on a drill. And when the cue came, I just pushed the drill and went right down on stage.
And every actor had about 2 inches to
everybody
stand
had to be in the
around
right
plane.
place.
Yeah, because it had a cast of 40
Well,
people.
and then I just did the play that goes wrong, and the whole set gets destroyed.
I heard so much great things about that play. I mean, everyone I talked to seriously said they knocked it out of the park with that, and it was just so orchestrated, and it was perfectly timed, I heard, too.
Oh.
Yeah, we worked very hard on that, and
Lots
there
of
was a
bruises.
few things. There was a few things on the internet and everything about how to build a set, and I stayed away from all of it. I designed it myself in my head, and it took me a couple months to figure it out.
That's a big one, yeah.
Well, you had a second floor that actually fell with people on it.
That-
And then had to go back up.
Then it had to
and
go back up
down.
every night. So yeah. So and we had an elevator that blew up. We had
Right,
all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I designed that in my head about 2 months before we started, and I had most of it built out in the shed, and then we just brought it in and put it together.
That's
So-
incredible.
And then
it
the
worked.
whole set fell at the end.
Yes, the whole set fell
and
down around the people,
that
and
was-
everybody had to be in certain.
Oh, because they
places.
get hurt big time.
Oh,
if it,
they could
yeah.
actually. This could have got killed.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
Heavy.
And so we rehearsed that. And one night, one guy was not paying attention, and somebody yelled, and he rolled over just in time when the thing came down.
during the fight.
And during one of the fight scenes.
Oh
so you got, and I kept
Because
telling
even your
him,
hand, you don't want a hand under
No.
a falling platform.
no,
No.
because I had to build it really solid and stiff because
have to,
you
yeah.
couldn't do it out of the normal stuff. Because falling like that every night, it would have fell apart. And every night after every show, I walked around and checked absolutely everything. And there was a couple nights I had to change a few things because the wear and tear of just when you have something that falls and everything's made out of wood.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you have something fall, I noticed that if anything separates at all, I tear it apart and redo it.
Wow. And then I couldn't even imagine though that stress because you got a show to do the next morning or the next
Yeah.
afternoon or evening, so you're up and you're gotta get.
Oh,
this
I did
done.
that a couple times, yeah, and I had it ready to go.
Wow. This is incredible. And so with the set of Ding Dong, was there anything that was too challenging with this one, or was it just some of the?
No, I wouldn't say challenging. It's just huge. I mean, it's
Just
a big,
big, yeah.
because it goes from one end to the other. It's just gorgeous, though. And Lee does a beautiful job in decorating. That's her thing.
That's my
And that's her thing. And so I build it. She decorates it, and between the two of us, it turns out really nice.
Well, you guys have a great team. I mean, from you and Lee to the entire ensemble that makes sure that Alton Little Theater is going from its board to all the way down to the casting crew and then the technical crew that definitely needs all the love they can get because. I was telling Lee this. I tried to do lights one time for a wrestling show. I was not asked back. I tried music. I had to fire the music guy during intermission. You ever have to do one of those numbers? But there's so much, and you guys just make it seem so easy, but that's because after all these years of doing it and really getting it done right, I mean, you guys have perfected the formula.
And it takes practice. We've
Yeah.
talked about a lot of theater groups will meet maybe 2.5 rehearsals a week. We rehearse at least 5 times a week. And
Yeah.
then we're there on the weekends filling in and doing the things so that we're ready for the next week.
Normal time, her and I will spend anywhere from 12 to 14 hours a day
A day.
there, almost every day.
You have to love what you're
Yeah.
doing. You
We
have
do.
to.
We do.
Now, take me back to this. So, Ding Dong's coming up on May the 5th is the first start.
Yes.
And it runs to the
14th, which is Mother's Day. We have 2 Sunday matinees at 2, and every other evening performance is at 7:30. We're always dark on Monday and Tuesday. Although if there were overwhelming ticket sales, I suppose we could do an extra performance. He really would kill me then. He needs the rest.
My brain needs the rest.
So was how long did it take to get Ding Dong going at Alton Little Theater?
It was 6 years ago that we first even applied for it. The Community Theater in Naples, which is again like a semi-professional theater, like we like to think of ourselves that way. They had recommended it to us. They held it over for 3 months, and Samuel French used to have the rights to it. They sold it to Concord Theatricals in London, who then took over the Paris division, and then COVID hit. So by the time I figured out how to get the rights, they're like, well, maybe, but the office is closed. No one's here, So they sent me scripts. I've had the scripts for 6 years.
Oh, talk about anxiety.
Yeah,
just
but
looking
it
at
was
those.
just about a little over a year ago that I finally said, could we do this? And I love it. It was done one other time in 2005, way back then, Little Theater out west. So I'm quite sure that no one else has seen this show. And because the French version is 2.5 hours long, and it is all in French. We have the accent, and 22 French phrases are used in the script. But no one has to worry if they don't know French. They will get the idea no matter what.
That's good for me because I was struggling when I was in Paris. Oh my goodness. you could.
But Parisians love you to struggle. When you get in the countryside,
You're right.
you down in the south of France, they are very helpful. But yeah, if you go to the Louvre or anywhere, they just love for you to ask where the bathroom is, and you can't. And they're like,
And they speak so fast. They
So
speak so
fast.
fast.
And that is, it's written, it's translated, and even though the guy was English, I mean London English, that it is so fast. It is written to be non-stop little fire bullets and then action going across the stage, which the maid, who is a retired school teacher, she's like, I have to run across there? Yeah, a little trot would be good.
No, and you bring up a great point with the speed of everything. You know, Kevin, when you're working with the other performers on stage, I'm sure, I talk really fast. Some people talk like a CPA. How is it, how is that getting everybody ready in that same, rhythm too, and that same timing?
Well, they're all doing very, very well. They really are.
Are they good?
But the problem is if you get tangled up or something, it's hard to get back on track sometimes. I'm a very good ad-libber, so, I can jump in and say just about anything, but then they're looking at me like, what?
Oh, and then you get lost. Yeah.
And particularly when you're an inexperienced performer, you're already more nervous. And so if you have inhabited the character, you ought to know what your character eats for lunch. And you can talk like your character, but I can see the deer in the headlights a little bit. But we practice the runs. There's 5 different, what I call the who's on first runs, where there's a page or a page and a half of it just is going like that, and I just make them do it over and over and over and over like that.
Well, that's good. Repetition's your friend. Let's do it again,
Yep.
Well, I'm big on repetition.
Yeah,
I'm
he is.
huge
He
on
is.
that.
Well, and speaking of, we've been talking for almost 30 minutes now.
Have you really?
I love this because, whenever I get to talk to you guys, it's so fun because your passion always comes through, and it shows why, Alton Little Theater has been around for 90 years and will be for another 90 because of folks like yourself.
And there are days I feel like I'm 90. So.
And I wanted to ask you, Art, because I've had so many text questions this last week about your summer acting courses.
Yes.
Are they filled up?
The younger group is. The
That's
8 to 11
okay.
is filled up, but we could use a few more teenagers,
What age group is
13
that?
to 17.
13 to 17. And how do they reach out to you guys to
They can just call the theater 462-3205-618 in the beginning of that. And we can now scan the form to them and email their parents, and then their parents, can drop by with a check or send it the next day. I do a little interview on the phone. I was trying to do it in person, and it was so hard with the kids in
luck.
school.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure about allergies, any physical limitations. We definitely need to know who's bringing them, who's picking them up. The kids are never unsupervised, and there's always 2 adults
That's huge to
in the
know.
room. Yeah, keeping the kids safe, but having them have a great experience is our goal. And we've been looking at your space here. If this gets to be a big idea, we just could come down here.
I'm telling you what, more the merrier. I'm getting lonely,
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's fantastic. And I wanted to break down really fast, too, the season tickets before I let you guys go today, because I was looking on our shop local section of Riverbender, and a great discount for Alton Little Theater season tickets is available until the
31st.
The 31st of May.
$80 for the 5 main stage shows, and they get a $5 coupon they can use for Spamalot, the 2 concerts, the Actors Studio
we
Series.
try to explain to everybody,
Yeah.
even if they can't see all the shows, they're still ahead of the game. And we tell them, give those to somebody that's never been.
Thank you. Yes.
And because you go over to St. Louis, you're spending that or more for one ticket.
On parking.
Almost.
Exactly.
And then you want a beer, it's $20 at Busch Stadium.
So it's like, I don't understand. And people go, well, I may not be here for all of them. Okay. So you may not see all of them. You're still ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Because if they bought them separately, they pay more for them.
Yeah. Well, that's, to me, I'm right there with you, because I'm right there I'm getting ready to make the jump, because I'm thinking, well, I get at least 5 shows. If I can't make one, I can send my little cousin and get her familiarized with Alton Little Theater and, the performance side of it. So many different things to do. And for the mothers out there, or the sons, daughters, for your mom, You have 5 different shows to go experience with your mom if you want to do season tickets for Mother's Day or just one show, because I'm excited about Ding Dong. I'm going to be laughing my ass off. I can tell this. I can just tell right off the bat.
And put a little plug in. He's having his, not callbacks, but his 3rd auditions for Spam-A-Lot on Saturday at 10 a.m. And he needs some guys.
Oh, that's right. Well, and too. So I was talking to Lee Cox about this Spam-A-Lot. I think I could do this.
I think you
probably
I
could.
I could put on some tights and have a good time. But, I want to ask you more about this, too, before I let you guys go, because this is going to be a very big performance.
Yes.
And Spam-A-Lot, when you throw a name like Monty Python out there, that connects with the public right away. What can we expect right off the bat as the auditions are starting to get underway?
Craziness.
Yeah.
Because that's what kind of show it is.
Yeah.
I mean, when they're dragging people across stage saying, "Bring in your dead," and I mean that's, and the guy that's being drugged in goes, "But I'm not dead yet." So that's the kind of stuff it is. So that's
86 costumes.
Yes. It's just a great. Well, it's a typical. Mighty Python. It's typical, and you don't know what's going to happen from time to time. I mean, they go to battle, and the people that they're fighting throw cattle at them. So it's that kind of stuff. I mean, it's like.
And Eric Idle, the author, we got the sound effects and everything, and he loves to be the voice of God, and he loves to do the little intro and invite people, and then he says, "Ignore everything I said."
And don't look up my dress.
And don't look at my dress.
Oh my God. We are going to be having fun all summer long with Alton Little Theater. Yeah. And is there anything else we need to hit on before I let you guys go today and we talk next Thursday?
Well, look on the website that you guys do a fabulous website for us. You can see all the productions. You can see how to get tickets. The classes, auditions coming up are listed there. So
AltonLittleTheater.org.
do a great job.
They do, but I love it because you guys are very transparent about anything going on. You don't have to go search for it. It's just right there on the site. You can find it, even on your Facebooks. I just, anytime I need to figure out what you guys are up to, I just go, Alton Little Theater, and look, they're doing this today.
Yeah, we try and make it easy.
Well, it's weird because sometimes a lot of folks still haven't really figured out the social media thing yet. So, I mean, I hate to be the lazy millennial, but sometimes I need to be told what you guys are doing.
Yes. And your generation does it on your phone. We still have people who read the paper and want it in print, or they want to come in because they're not going to give us our credit card number.
Yeah. And there's a certain amount of people that says, "Well, just call us. Let us know what you're doing."
So, I'll call 10,000 people today.
Yeah, we'll get right on that.
Yeah, go ahead. Do they do robocalls for Alton Little Theater? I was going to tell you this. Now you brought up the newspaper thing. I was driving on 270 on the war zone is what I call it. You put your helmet on and just keep going. And I'm looking over. There is an older gentleman reading a newspaper and driving 270.
Oh, yes.
How is that possible?
I saw a guy over there one time eating a full breakfast with a tray on his lap going 70 miles an hour.
Or the ladies who put on their makeup for work. I'm like, I don't know, because I call it the war zone too. I worked there for 40 years, and I'm so glad I'm not working there anymore.
I had 4 years. I felt like a decade, I couldn't imagine 40.
I did 13 over there, and I'm so glad we don't have to go over
and
anymore.
at night, it's nearly impossible. You're like, the cones are they marking it or telling you don't go there?
Well, how many times are you going to repaint the lanes, too?
Yes.
And you can avoid all of the nightmares of 270.
By coming to Alton Little Theater.
Alton Little Theater, especially May 5th through the 14th with matinees on the 7th and the 14th at 2 p.m. for Mother's Day. Come on, that's the win-win. Kevin Frakes, Lee Cox, we'll talk next Thursday.
Okay,
thank you.
Great, thank you.
9:48 on this 27th day of April. We'll take a quick break, and we're already wrapping up the 9 o'clock. Time flies on a Thursday in downtown Alton.
Inspiring her dreams and helping her pursue them. That's why we protect your house and your car, because we know they're the launching pad to their dreams. And now you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. American Family Insurance.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
With anyone, it's not unusual to be sad with anyone. But if I ever find that you've changed at any time, it's not unusual to find that I'm in love with you.
Oh, I love Tom Jones. I don't know why I said 950 right here in this heart of the Riverbend. Hey, I want to give you a brief sports update while I have you. And Bradley Piros reporting out of Bethalto that the Civic Memorial High School softball team was able to earn the season sweep over Mississippi Valley Conference rival Jersey Wednesday afternoon. The Eagles won 4-3 in dramatic walk-off fashion to improve to 10-6 on the season, 3-3 in the MVC. The Panthers slipped to 11-6 and 2-3 in the conference. The Highland Bulldogs sit atop the MVC standings at 6-0. The Eagles, they wasted no time grabbing the lead in the first inning. Isabella Thine got to second after hitting an outfield blooper. Danica Chester would batter in after she doubled thanks to a drop ball on the outfield. CM had runners on the corners with 2 outs, but Jersey starting pitcher Ashlyn Brown did good damage control to get out of the inning, only trailing 1-0. Megan Griffith started in the circle for CM and made it through the first 2 innings unscathed. The Panthers then struck back in the top of the third. Things got started with Kendall Davis getting to second after a drop third strike. She moved over to third after an Autumn Heitzman sacrifice bunt, and eventually brought in after Bria Tuttle's RBI single to tie up the game at 1 apiece. Lauren Hardy got things started off with a leadoff single, followed by another single from Griffith. They both stole the base ahead of them and ended up second and third with no outs. Ella Lander stepped up and hit a long sacrifice fly to score Hardy and tied the game up once again. A scoreless 6th would set up a dramatic 7th. Davis hit a 2-out single for the Panthers. Heitzman then hit an RBI single to take the lead back 3-2. And, down to their last strike, Chester, she blasted a ball to right center field and off the wall for a 2 RBI double and for a walk-off 4-3 win. She battles. CM head coach Luke Angelo said about Chester, she's done a great job for us. She's kind of our utility player. We can put her on the corner. She pitches. She can catch. She plays outfield before. Danny understands her role and does a great job at it. She battles, and I'm very proud of the outcome. The Eagles will be back in action at home on Saturday and against Belleville West for a doubleheader. As for the Panthers, they host a very good Gillespie team on, this afternoon. So there's your little bit of softball roundup for you guys today, powered by RiverBender.com. And, really just great stuff with Lee Cox and Kevin Frakes of Alton Little Theater. Really enjoying our Theater Thursday segments and enjoying our new segment over there with that guy sitting in the waiting rings, Chad Sibley over there. Alton VFW coming up in just about 10 minutes or so. But before we go to, top of the hour news break, I want to tell you guys this. So at 10:50, we do the All-Star Award, but whenever I have time, I like to tell you about some things that got sent to me that I just think are, well, a little different, just like this. So, an unusual international contest in Spain was awarded a Guinness World Record title as the largest jigsaw puzzle competition in the world. So listen to this. I know you're going, what are you telling me, CJ? It's Thursday at 9:54. But the 2022 World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship in Valladolid, Spain, was officially the largest competition in the world for puzzle solvers. The competition featured a total of 2,200, almost 3,000 jigsaw enthusiasts. Put that one on a shirt. From 44 countries competing in puzzle-solving races as individuals, pairs, and four-person teams. The international contest was first held in 2019, is organized and supervised by the World Jigsaw Puzzle Federation under chair Alfonso Alvarez Osorio. The 2023 World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship is a 5-day event, and it's scheduled to kick off with a ceremony on September 20th. But at least they got the Guinness World Record underneath their belt right before, the big one. The big one really starts. And hey, one final bit of good news before we take a break. A 7-year-old pug named Seven, seriously, that's his name, I'm not making that up, was reunited with his owner, Michael Mitchell, 2 years after the canine went missing thanks to an Idaho Falls animal control officer and microchip. So listen to this. An Idaho man was reunited with his beloved dog 2 years after the canine went missing thanks to a microchip. The Idaho Falls animal control officer, Maya Relaford, said she was called out to a local woman's home when the resident reported a pug had wandered right up to her front door. What has this dog been doing for 2 years? The woman said she asked her neighbors, but no one knew whose dog it was, and Relaford then scanned the pug for a microchip and identified him as Seven, a 7-year-old pug belonging to Idaho Falls resident Michael Mitchell. Mitchell said he was shocked to receive Relaford's call, as Seven had been missing for over 2 years. Relaford said Seven and Mitchell seemed equally happy to be reunited. You could tell the dog knew where he belonged. Seven's whereabouts for the past 2 years, well, there still remained a mystery. But he was wearing a collar and had put on weight, leading Mitchell to believe that somebody was taking care of him. I think they took him, to be honest with you. To get him back is a miracle. I'm so grateful. I literally missed him. Well, you could have just said you missed him. I always prayed and hoped that if he was somewhere, that he would have a good life and be happy, but I missed him a lot. I just feel like getting your animal microchipped, very important, and it reunites families. There you go. You know who else is really good at helping you and your family is Lisa Webb over at 3rd Street Realty. She just came on yesterday for our first edition of our new real estate segment right here on our daily show, and I'm so excited for it. Lisa Webb and 3rd Street Realty have been around for over a decade, and what I love about 3rd Street Realty is that it's woman-owned but family-operated. That family aspect to me is a crucial point when it comes to buying and selling a home, because the way I look at it's simple. You can go to a bigger franchise, a bigger real estate firm, and find one of their agents that are making buku dollars on commission just trying to almost conveyor belt these properties, assembly line them. Here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. Let's push this through, let's push this through. But is it right for you? Did you learn anything during that process? Well, Lisa Webb and 3rd Street Realty pride themselves on educating us and holding our hand through the entire process, whether you're buying your home for your first time ever, and she's great with first-time home buyers, or if you're just buying, you're just selling, or another flip side of that is when you have the unfortunate situation of even short selling your home or that foreclosure process. Lisa Webb and 3rd Street Realty have been there through it all, and they will help you through it all as well. So if you could, give them a check online today. That's 3rdstrealty.com, 3rdstrealty.com. Get their informational brochure. Check out some of their listings that are available online, and tune in to the real estate segment on our daily show with Lisa Webb and 3rd Street Realty. That's 3rdstrealty.com. 9:58 on this 27th day of April. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with top of the hour news and Alton VFW after this.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Just as good even when closed your eyes.
10:02 on this 27th day of April. Here's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend on this Thursday in downtown Alton at 10:02. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update and join over 60,000 of us that get something called Around the Riverbend each and every day of the week, including Saturdays. In Edwardsville, Roger Smith, the former chief deputy coroner in Madison County, today announced his decision to seek the Republican Party's nomination for coroner in 2024. Smith worked for the coroner's office for 32 years before retiring in 2021. He was the chief deputy coroner for the last 11 years of that term. A quote, "I consider the position of coroner to be a calling, not a job. It is about earnestly seeking the facts surrounding an individual's death and assuring they were not harmed by another. It's about helping families and loved ones find their way during the worst moments of their lives. I commit to serving as coroner with the honor, dignity, and respect the citizens and taxpayers of Madison County deserve." Smith promises, if elected, to suspend collecting his MRF pension and will decline to participate in the pension system as the elected coroner. Another quote, I'm willing to forego those payments because it's the right thing to do. I respect the taxpayers too much to ask them to pay me twice for the privilege of serving in this office. Smith is a lifetime resident of Madison County and was born and raised in Granite City. He resides in rural Madison County with his wife of 27 years, Circuit Judge Amy Mayer. That, once again, Roger Smith announcing his candidacy for the Republican nomination for the coroner's position in Madison County. Also in the news today from East St. Louis, on April the 24th, the St. Clair County State's Attorney's Office approved 1 count of first-degree murder. That's a Class M felony, and 1 count of aggravated battery with a firearm. That's a Class X felony for 33-year-old James D. O'Neill. The charge is stemming from a 2017 shooting that left 1 individual fatally wounded and 1 individual severely injured. After a thorough investigation, ISP agents arrested 20-year-old Devontae Lindsay of Centerville on November the 3rd of 2017 and Siobhan Brownlee, 24 years of age, on November the 15th of 2017 in connection with the shooting. Those individuals have since been sentenced to the Illinois Department of Corrections. On April the 25th of this year, ISP agents, along with the United States Marshals, arrested 33-year-old James D. O'Neill of Belleville on the above charges. O'Neill is housed at St. Clair County Jail. No further information at this time will be disseminated. The public is reminded that all persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. At 10:05, a final bit of news for you today before we take a break and welcome on Alton VFW Post 1308. Swapping is the new shopping. Clean out your closet and join Alton Main Street on Sunday, April the 30th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. for a pop-up clothing swap. The event will be held in the ballroom at Mineral Springs Mall, located at 301 East Broadway. To participate, you simply bring gently used clothing, accessories, and shoes that you can no longer wear and trade as many new items as you can carry out. An option to bring your items in advance is available as well. Early drop-off is Saturday, April the 29th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the same location. Participants should enter through the side door to the lower level, which faces Alton Street. The event is open to the public, and the entrance fee is $5 when you bring clothes to swap, or $10 when you just bring yourself. Leftover clothing will be donated to local charities. Attendees may also bring fabric in any condition, which will be recycled with remains incorporated. A needs assessment conducted by Alton Main Street revealed additional clothing stores and retail shops are highly sought after by many community members. Pop-up shops are creative, temporary retail and restaurant establishments held in underutilized commercial spaces that provide a tangible way to test the market. For more details on this event, you can contact the coordinator, Laura Blair, at blairstudios@gmail.com. That's blairstudios@gmail.com. Or you can contact Sarah McGibney at sarah@altonmainstreet.org. It's 10:07 on this 27th day of April. A quick break. Alton VFW Post 1308. Well, they're next.
We protect your house and your car. Because we know they're the launching pad to their dreams. And now you can save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices. Located on Humbert Road in Alton.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like
I need some good company today, and I got it all day long. First with Theater Thursday, now with Salute to Service, our first one.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
So Chad over at Alton VFW Post 1308, he bakes cookies, he cooks dinner, he does it all over there.
Yeah,
and
I'm trying not to.
Well, this is really exciting, Chad, because we're going to announce our scheduled time, but just to get us on and get everyone familiar with what we're going to be talking about with this, because we were just talking before we came on the back from commercial break, and Chad noted the growth of the show and how much different it looked.
Yeah, from that if you go back to our very first episode, I don't know if you want to call it an episode. It was a show, but
it was something.
But to where he's grown now is just amazing what Riverbender has done in here. It's, I mean,
we're getting
really
there,
impressed.
man. Well, and it's because of you guys go, because you could easily went, what the hell did we just get ourselves
exactly.
in? Yeah, we got our neighbor's dog passed away. We got a funeral to go, but no, you didn't. You guys kept coming back, and now we're growing and growing, and now starting some more segments with friends of the show with this. And Chad, the first time you guys came on, I thought, oh, well, this would be cool, talk a little bit, get some history of the Doughboy,
Right. And
then I realized actually how much you guys do in the community. There's so much that still, I don't think the public, citizens like myself really understand that what you guys are, doing for all of us, not just for, veterans, but for the community as a whole.
Yes. I'm glad you actually brought that up. We actually have our second annual national VFW's Still Serving campaign. So, that's coming up May 6th. It is a way to unite veterans across America in a common goal. I mean, showing the nation the impact veterans make in the community. So, anybody that we just need support from our veterans and to show the community that our veterans are still serving in any way that they can, because I feel that by helping and serving your community becomes better in it.
You're right. Well, and too, it brings everyone closer too, and it creates these long-lasting relationships that are needed in the community to thrive and to be just happy to live in a certain spot of the world, anywhere.
Most definitely, I agree with that.
Well, and too, Chad, whether or not it's just the canteen, which I can't say enough great stuff about. I keep talking every 4 times a week. I'm telling people, listen. What are you doing tonight? Go to the canteen. What are you doing? Go to the canteen. I have never been at a bar top that's more comfortable than at the Post.
Yeah.
That cushion bar top, I don't know who decided on that one, but god dang, man, that's a win.
I think that's the original one they put in there when they built that building.
It looks brand
52
new.
years old, so I think.
It looks brand new, though. You guys really clean it well.
Yes.
Well, and too, the Prairie State Gaming Room was hitting the other night, too.
Yes, I will tell you right now, I've had that I know of at least one person walk out with 1,500. So yeah, it's a good place.
I feel like I lost that.
Yeah, I love Prairie State Gaming coming in and helping, and they're doing a lot for the Post.
Are they too? Yeah.
Yeah, they're really helping us out.
Wow. Well, and you know, well, the last time we were talking, you had the Boy Scout pancake breakfast, and we had our ambassador, or the Scoutmaster, or the post commander for the day.
Yep.
And so many great stuff. But before we talk about all of that, a couple of weeks ago, Greg Nasello, a guy I might know, my dad and I, he's the next head coach for the boys team in Alton and coming back, and we were calling the CM versus the Triad Knights girls soccer game. Aubrey Wallace.
Yes, Aubrey Wallace.
Who is she in relation to you, sir?
So she is my wife's great niece.
That is so cool.
Yes. So, and I will tell you what, that young girl is going to places. I tell you, and I'll tell you who else is going to. Is her brother and sister are, I mean, right on her heels. So those are the ones you really got to watch out for. The small and mighty.
I'm telling you what.
She's quick. She's quick on her. And to come back from that knee injury.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, come on.
That doesn't happen very often.
No.
Whenever you're successful coming back, too. Because coming back just initially is tough.
Oh, yeah. The rehab and stuff like that. I couldn't do it now.
No.
I guess what? I'd still be down.
But, you know, and to come back and thrive, it's so cool that, you know, such a small world, too. But I want to ask you about a few of the other things that I wanted to get more insights on, and then we'll talk anything else.
Yeah.
I want to ask you more about the VFW farm. I did not, and it's not open, you know, to the public. It's just for the members, correct?
No, it's open for the public. The public can go out there, and if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize it was.
Yeah,
and now
we have a bar out there, and we've got a pavilion, we've got a couple barbecue pits, a pond, you know.
Oh, well, see, it was because I can't read. I went to, I can't make that joke. I think they're sponsored. Yeah, but I was reading, and I didn't even realize this. I mean, 107 acres right over here in Brighton.
Yes.
I mean, we do, you know, birthday parties and stuff there?
Most definitely. Yeah, they have a big outdoor pavilion.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do all kinds of events out there. Bands, you know, we could set up bands and stuff like that as well.
That's incredible. I mean, that is really incredible. I had no idea.
And we got a tank sitting out there. Yeah, a big tank.
They used to. That was my nickname in high school.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's incredible.
I would tie a weight around you, boy.
Well, I am. You bring me. We are selling cement blocks so there are people under 150 in their lives, so the wind doesn't blow us away.
Exactly.
So what's coming up this weekend at the Post?
So we do have this weekend, Friday. We do have a benefit for one of the victims. I'd say victims. And they were injured in a car accident.
Yeah.
So one of the young ladies that worked there, Joellen, we're having a benefit for her son. So we're just so come out and support that. Friday, I think on the menu is Sloppy Joe's.
Oh, yeah. Yip Yips.
Yep. Love Yip Yips. Love me some Yip Yips. And then the ladies' night we've got coming up. I think we might have a fish fry May 5th.
Fish fry.
Yeah. Oh,
Angie, we're hitting all the hits today.
You know, I got, just for a second. You know, Angie rolled up with this idea, and she's working on it in private, and it is going to be an amazing thing. We're helping veterans, you know, it's going to be helping veterans, things like that. So, you know, when she says she's able, it's not just because of her last name. And the commander and ourselves at the Post are going to support it 110%. We're just got, you know, the salute to service is the same, you know.
Yeah.
It's about giving back to those who need it, especially those coming out of the service. That's, you know, that changeover, things like that.
I couldn't imagine, and I mean that. I could not imagine. I've told my brother this. I really could not imagine the transition of coming back, especially from a conflict, you know, and you're all of a sudden you're back and you have to just act like everything's normal again.
Yeah. It is one of the toughest transitions And to be honest with you, a lot of them can't handle it, you know. And
Yeah.
I think that's a part of the 22 that we lose every day.
Yeah.
So, you know, that the veterans in our community, no matter what post you're at, you know, you can always volunteer. You can, you know, if you're not physically able, you know, the post, each individual post around the country is supported by the community. You know, those, we have light bills to pay. We still have bills to pay, but
Right.
and it's all volunteer. None of our, I think the only people that really are paid are the bartenders.
Well, and I don't
you know,
think folks
and our ops
realize
managers.
that, Chad. I think sometimes they think, oh, well, you know, you guys get a big case of money sent to you every year going, all right, light bills. It's not. You guys have to figure this out.
Yeah.
And I mean,
donations.
Yeah.
You know, simple, whether it's food, clothes, monetary, gift cards, whatever. Home Depot is getting ready to come out and clean our Doughboy statue. They're volunteers.
Wow.
We submitted for a grant, got approved. All of our ceiling tiles are going to get replaced. So, and it's all because Home Depot reached out to us, and you know, we sat down, talked to them, and was able to get that done.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, you know, we had our water heater. In this month alone, we've had our water heater go out and our boiler. So, yeah, and that takes some money, and so we have to work to get.
You win. Okay, I've been moping around this damn building for a month now, going, I'm just so overwhelmed, and then you guys are dealing with water heaters, boilers, and you know trying to get things going.
We're doing good.
The smile's back on my face though, because you come in and with the smile and act like, you know, hey, we got to keep moving.
There's always a way around. If you can't go through it, over it, under it, blow it up. You know? You just blow it up and you just go right through it.
Boom! By the way, somebody turned 30 years old the other day. The guy sitting across from me. Happy late birthday.
Yes, 30. Yeah, I look like I'm 30, don't I? Yeah, this big old sexiness here. I knew Leprechaun had something to do with that one.
She did. And the program we were talking about a little earlier was Family First Veterans Assistance, which I'm excited to learn more about this, and I'm sure we will. And before we go into anything else, and I have so much more I want to talk with you about, Chad. Salute to Service really is going to be about all the different programs. You know, I know that we're going to do the rituals team, and we're going to kind of film some stuff and get to meet some of the folks too, because you know there's a gauntlet. I hate, no pun intended, an army of you guys that are really providing the mission and you know achieving the mission of the post.
Yeah, and it's not just. I know there's a lot of Marines out there and Navy and Air Force going, it's not an army, it's a...
Sorry.
It's a group of soldiers, it's a group of Navy men, Air Force, it's a group of all of us that have that desire to continue to serve. No matter what we've been through in the past, the reason why we joined was to serve.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a way that we can get that done. The Salute to Service, I think, is just a way of us trying to keep our veterans above, you know, because I know a lot of veterans are struggling right now. I mean, with the inflation, you've got, you know, with everything that's going on just in society alone.
Yeah.
And then they're having to deal with mental issues or home issues. That by coming out and helping, you know, kind of gets that.
Yeah.
It gives them something else to do than sit at home.
Well, and too, you guys that are watching this, whenever you do, whenever Salute to Service is on, if you have any questions, you know, or if you have any thoughts, just send me an email and I'll send them to Chad and go, hey, can we tackle these things? Can we talk about them? Or even if it's live, send me a text. We'll talk, you know, about it on the air.
Most definitely.
Another thing you were doing was a couple of weeks ago, you were down in Mississippi, you know, surveying the damage. And, you know, bringing all these great donations down with your wife. Take us through that experience.
That experience was one of the most blessed experience I think I've seen in quite some time. Just the simple devastation of how one row of houses may have a couple of shingles off, but the very house across the street, from there on out, it's been wiped out. the donations that we received from local life members and the stuff that we had in our pantry, plus the donations from Cottage Hills and the district commander there, I filled up our Chrysler Pacifica from front to back.
You did. It
Yes.
was really wall to wall filled.
Yes, and so we drove that down, the wife and I, and we met up with Hugh Long from the Mississippi. He is a former state commander, and he is the district commander. He was just so interesting and so thankful for what we were down there to do.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, he was just an amazing, amazing man. And I got pictures. I'll make sure that we send to you soon.
Please do, and we'll add them to our pre-roll with it. And
Jay.
And we'll add it to our pre-roll and our intro stuff too,
Yeah.
because I think the more we can highlight all the different things you guys do, I mean, it's a win. Because whether or not, and we have Memorial Day coming up and all these things, we'll have to get together about what we can do to maybe do a tape show or something. And
yes, we're one of, I think, the second oldest. In the our post is like the second oldest in the nation in marching in the Memorial Day parade.
Is it really?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's an amazing tradition. It's either and in the Halloween parade, I don't think we've missed one. Even during the pandemic, I don't think we missed one.
That's incredible.
So then, and that has a lot to do with our volunteers, our ritual team. You know, all of our officers and stuff like that being out there.
Well, and two, it's one of those things, Chad, where I think sometimes we take it for granted in a way, and not, picking on us, or anything like that. But, we're so used to you guys being there that I don't think we would know what it's like to go, wait a minute, why weren't they there today?
Exactly.
There hasn't been a time for that not happening.
No. And a lot of our members right now, they work, they work full time.
Exactly.
So they really don't have a lot of time to donate. And we understand, I know as a post member, but there are other things that you can do. I mean, if we have events out like, membership drives, things like that, most definitely Angie.
Yeah.
Tell you what, we just need the camaraderie. It's not about who does what or, who doesn't do what. It's about bringing more to the community, more help to the community and veterans.
Well, you and so many at the post, including the commander and Angie, you and the commander and Angie, as just you three too, do a lot behind the scenes, and I mean a lot that we don't really know about because
Correct.
You guys make sure it's off without a hitch, no matter what day of the week we come into the canteen,
Right.
what event we're at. I mean, I couldn't even begin to know, what that is, that day to day when you're trying to pick up pieces and you're trying to still evolve to that next generation.
Correct. And donations, the commander is, he's the one that goes out usually a lot and gets a lot of the donations that we need to repair an air conditioning, to repair a heater, whatever the major repairs are. So, the senior vice, the junior vice, they all have a mission to do something. And even our post members, there's a lot of things that our own post members and auxiliary,
Yes.
the auxiliary, is a big part of any post.
You're right.
We don't have to like each other, but we can all get along, I think. That's just kind of that's just my personal philosophy.
Well, it's the way I think of it too. To me, that's where I think we've kind of all gotten into this point where it's just like, sometimes it's instead of just disagreeing, you don't think anything of it. I don't know if it's the news. I don't know what the hell it is, but now it's like once you disagree, you have to start yelling or arguing, and it's like, no, you just go, I don't like that. Okay, you move on. You just
right. Okay.
pick it up, keep going.
Exactly. And the thing I love about the VFW is when the veterans come together and they're actually involved with each other, that's the part that I enjoy. I'm not a sit at the bar, drink beer all day kind of guy. I did that enough when I was in the service. And plus, my wife won't let me do that.
Yeah.
You know,
that's it. Well, that's the best answer you can. I would be great on Family Feud. Good answer.
Yeah, good answer. Yeah. Even in the service, you know, my designation as a combat medic, it was to help.
Yeah.
And I think I've tried to carry that through life and helping the veterans and their families, and you know, whether it's the auxiliary doing it, it's still, to me, we're all helping. And that's what I think this community needs.
Well, and perfect time to throw this in. A great text in from Angie. All of us are under one flag, as the commander says, and it's true.
Yes. I mean, it's red, white, and blue, and stars.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all under one flag, and that flag drapes America.
Yeah.
And if we just come together, put our differences aside, think about those less fortunate, because I tell you what, you go drive down through any of the tornado damaged areas that we've had over the last week, you will realize that these people have lost everything. I mean, everything from the ground up, every person, even if some of the clothes on their back, you know.
Well, and too, I'll take it a step further. With COVID, we all had the only luxury of it is we were all off together. You know,
Right.
the world stopped. With tornadoes, it doesn't. You know, these people that lost their house, they still have to get up and find a way to get to work a lot of these times and still bring money home because they got to pay for insurance or they got to pay for all this stuff.
Just eating, eating.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. And it's some of these things where, you know, like I was kind of joking earlier with you, Chad, where it's like, oh, you know, I got all this and it's, well, then you open your eyes and you go take a trip like you did and you go, holy hell.
And start thinking about that now. You know, the Scouts.
Yeah.
You know, they have their big pancake breakfast coming up again next month.
Okay.
I think it's May 21st.
I think it is too, actually. I remember that date a couple of times.
May 21st. It'll be there at the Post from 10 to 1, I think, or 10 to 12. I think the Scouts is a good way to start teaching kids at that age the structure of the military, or the structure of,
you're right,
you know, respect, dignity, camaraderie.
Well, I'll take it a step further. The other day at the North Alton Godfrey Business Council, Martez Moore was there, who is the director of the Scouts for the Greater St. Louis area.
Yes.
Former Marine, just a great story. And he said the same thing. He goes, you know, whether or not it was, my service or, just I got my start in the Scouts because it taught me so many things that were so valuable in life, those lessons, that it prepared me for a lot of the things I faced, down the pipeline. And it's a great addition to have. And I'm right there with you on the Scouts.
Yeah, and I think the more you get your kids involved, I mean, this is where you start, is with our younger generation, most definitely.
Absolutely. And if you guys have anything to do in the next couple of weeks, well, remember, quarter auctions on the second Thursday of every month. Free bingo every Wednesday. And what's Queen of Hearts up to?
Queen of Hearts is up to 6530 something. I think it's 6500 or 66, something like that.
Well, damn, that could pay for my car note. I'm liking that.
That's what I'm saying.
There we go. Well, and too, I mean, there's so much to talk about, and all year long, there's always, your guys' Toys for Tots drive in December.
$1.50 beers on Wednesday nights with the Queen of Hearts,
There's so much. And I always tell people, I go, to me, here's the best sales pitch I can give you. It's not even a sales pitch. It's just to give you an idea. You can go over to VFW on, a weekday night and go enjoy. And not only get you a cold drink, listen to the touch tunes, play some darts, go hit the Prairie State Gaming Room and maybe win a jackpot. You get to meet some friends. You get to, meet some new friends, too, on that same regard. Yep. And talk to some of the vets that, served our nation and really, with pride, protected us. I mean, it's a win.
Yeah, you're going to have a good time. I mean, more cowbell. We love to have our community come in.
Yep.
And we have the free pool. We've got the big dance floor out there.
And you guys can rent that damn bingo hall over there.
Yes.
I'm telling you what, I have had so much fun over at your guys' events, and it's because that you guys just don't throw somebody, you You guys just don't throw somebody the keys to the venue and say, all right, good luck.
Yeah.
You're there to help, too.
Yes, most definitely. If anybody has questions, there's always somebody there to help, or at least try to, if they don't know, they got phone numbers who they call.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, last night it's been me. So, but I'm okay. I still go home and, sleep.
Right.
Come back in, just get up and do it all over again. I enjoy the challenges.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You rise to the challenge too. It takes a certain person to be able to accomplish it. With all the stuff you guys have coming.
And there's a lot of people behind the scenes. Bobby Myers. He's another one of our big supporters, and he's been a long time member of that. He's just our commander, quartermaster, our bartenders, our board president, even Joe Ellen, our new ops manager, are all doing a great job. I mean, they all are. Mm-hmm. It's just it's new, and it just come in, have fun.
That's right.
I guarantee you're going to have fun if I'm there or somebody else. Doesn't matter if I'm there. You're going to have a great time.
I only got one rule if you see me there. If I am losing in that slot room, you do not talk to me until I hit a bonus.
Yeah.
Then we're ready to have fun again. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm there. You can rub the top of my head.
Well, and coming up in May, we're going to be doing Salute to Service, but I do think I want to get with you guys, and we'll do instead of just having the day off on Memorial Day, why don't we find some vets and talk to some folks at VFW and just make it a VFW show?
Yes, actually, we've got big events on Memorial Day. I think the ritual team does a memorial on Fosterburg. That's a cemetery out there that they've been a part of, I think, close to 80 years,
wow,
50 years, something like that. I'm not sure, but they've been a part of it every Memorial Day. For a very, very long time. And then, of course, we have the Memorial Day Parade, and we've got, where we go to each cemetery, especially National Cemetery.
Absolutely.
So...
We'll cover all of that. Yep. And so we're going to have two conversations with the Post this month of May. One Memorial Day. We'll figure out what that looks like.
Yeah. We'll always figure something out.
But we try. But Salute to Service, that is still on for next month as well. So 2 doses of the Post this coming May. And I'm excited to learn more and more about some of the different teams that you guys have, your guys' groups, and really just doing the best we can to raise some even more awareness to the great things you guys do at Post 1308.
Yes. I'm looking forward to the whole thing.
Me too.
Hopefully I can get some more members in here to talk to. Memorial Day would be a great time if you're out and just come out and interview them there.
Yeah.
We've got, it'd probably be the best way. But anyway,
we'll figure it out.
You know me.
For more information, VFWpost1308.org. That's VFWpost1308.org. Salute to Service, Chad Sibley.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you to all of you. Salute to Service coming back next month, and then a little bit of an encore presentation on Memorial Day.
Yes, sir.
This Thursday in downtown Alton. We got to take a quick break. It's Free Comic Book Day coming up.
Yes.
Heroic Adventures and Game joins us next.
All right, have a good one. Take care.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today. Oh, we aren't talking to Alton VFW Post 1308 anymore. We are talking to Tony Vavilla. How are we doing today, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
Man, free comic book day. This is,
Free comic day is coming up next week.
coming up soon, and you guys can get your hands on one right over with you guys, Heroic
Adventures, and which is part of Fantasy Books Incorporated.
Okay, thank you. So I was struggling all day. I'm like,
Who am I talking to?
Exactly. I'm like, I know it's a part of it. I know it's a part of it. Now, what part? We'll figure that out. So this is great. I mean, I got to ask you, Tony, right off the bat, how did this journey with the storefront start with you, sir?
Wow. Well, I've been collecting comics since I was about 12 years old. And, as a comic book geek and nerd, your dream is to own a store, right?
Right.
And so, actually, just a little bit of history about fantasy books. So, in the 1980, the first fantasy books opened in Collinsville. So, back in 1980, opened in Collinsville. And over the next decade, it expanded to a number of stores across the Metro East here. And then there was a lull in the comic book industry, you could say, and so a number of those stores either closed or franchised out and changed names. Some of those still exist. And in 2004, my business partner, Steve Unverfurth, and I bought the last remaining fantasy books, which is in Belleville. Steve was actually the manager of the store, and I was a customer. And he was like, "Hey, do you want to buy the store?" And I'm like, "Of course,
right?
Who wouldn't want to own their own comic book store?" So that started our journey. That was in 2004. In 2006, we bought our first gaming store, which we called Fantasy Games. And that's when we set up Fantasy Books Incorporated, FBI, the nice little FBI.
I love it. I saw that. I'm like, wait a minute. Do I have an agent coming in here?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So over the next couple of years, we just fine-tuned our business model. We bought a smaller store in Fairview. And in 2011, we merged Fantasy Books and Fantasy Games. The gaming store was called Fantasy Games. Merged those into what is now our flagship store, Fantasy Books and Games in Fairview Heights.
Wow.
And the same year, we bought Heroic Adventures in Edwardsville, bought that under the FBI umbrella. We kept the name because Heroic had been in Edwardsville for a while, and it had some brand identity. We didn't want to lose that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I got to ask, the other team members, I'm sure you guys all have a love for, comics and all of the different, ins and outs of the industry. But what got you guys involved with fantasy books? Can I just say FBI? I like that
FBI.
so much better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What got you guys involved? This is awesome. I mean, this seems like a great atmosphere and a great place to be a part of.
After you, please.
Honestly, I'm from Oregon, and I've only been here for about a year, and I was looking for a new community, a new place to call home, and I'm a big nerd, and I found.
It's true.
Thank you, Dan. I'm a big nerd, and I found Heroic, and they were the most welcoming community. And they made me feel at home, and within about 4 weeks of playing Magic there with the gang, I started begging for a job, and they didn't let me go, and I've been there ever since.
Well, there you go. Perfect fit then.
Yep. So it was just kind of serendipitous, but I found them, and they found me at the same time, and it was kind of... It's home.
Timing is everything, just like, the start of it all and how we added some members. Now, I got to ask you, what's your favorite part of working with FBI?
Oh, my favorite part has got to be working with the team and working with the kids. I work a lot with kids at the library, so I do a little bit of community outreach, and I work a lot with the Pokemon program, so I get to spend a lot of time playing with kids. I used to be a teacher in my past life, and I get to, I get to do that. It's great.
That's incredible. And I mean, really cool. And I got to ask, what brought you onto the team?
Oh, I was just upstairs and they asked me if I wanted to be part of this interview. I don't actually know any of these people. I was like, they look nice. So they invited me up. Now, I've actually been playing at Fantasy Books and Games, which is our Fairview Heights location. I've been playing there for like over a decade. So I play a game called Warhammer, which is a miniatures-based war game. You might be familiar.
I haven't played it, but I know of it.
I mean, if you hate money, it's a great hobby. You should totally get into it. So I've been playing that at the store for 10 years. I've been playing the game since it came out like back in '87. So I've just been in that community, and I realized that there was an opportunity there to build that community for the Warhammer. And I started running tournaments and events at the store. And so at one point I was like, I should just actually work here. So I retired from the military and they hired me, and there you go.
Incredible. Thank you for your service, too.
Well,
thank you,
Thank you for paying my paycheck.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Unless you haven't been paying taxes.
Oh, well, hey.
Let's not talk
the
about
IRS does listen from time to time.
The FBI is.
So I'm going to ask all of you guys the question. Are comics, was that always a part of all of your lives, just the collective as a whole?
Oh, no. Yes? I'm going to start with this. I never bought a single comic till I started working at the store.
Wow.
Because I play mostly games.
Oh, gaming,
so I do games, I do RPGs, I did some card games, and then I was like, well, comics are cool. But when I was growing up, it was always superheroes, and I'm not really a superhero guy. I like Star Wars, I like Star Trek, and I realized there's Star Wars and Star Trek comics.
We still hired him.
So I was like, I'm going to buy all these Star Wars and Star Trek comics, and there's a ton of just really cool books that aren't about superheroes. It's just not my jam. I'm sorry, boss, but it's just not my jam. But now I buy like a ton of comics. Like I'm constantly buying comics because I really like the different covers, the variant covers, the different art that's presented. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Becky?
About 10 years ago, actually, my friend said to me, he's like, I know that you read novels a lot, but you got to check out comic books. I'm like, comic books are for kids, not an adult thing to do. And he said, no, really, here's this thing. It's called John Constantine. It's called Hellblazer. You got to check this out.
Yeah.
Not for kids
Not
at
for
all.
kids, no.
Not for kids. And I picked it up and read it. He's like, there's this event at this store in Fairview called FBI. He's like, you got to go to it. It's called Free Comic Book Day. I said, Free Comic Book Day. I said, I'm really broke. I can't go. He's like, no, I'll pick you up and take you. It won't cost you anything. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's really free. He said, yeah, it's really free. I said, okay, I'll go with you. And I walked into this store, and it was magic. I can't even tell you what it was like. I stood in a line, and there were people out there dressed in costumes, and there was music playing, and there was an R2-D2 droid, like a life-size R2-D2 droid, like rolling around. And when I walked, they were giving out tickets, and it was crazy. It was just madness, and I couldn't believe what I'd been missing out on. I walked through the door, there was free comic books, and I couldn't believe that there was stuff that I was interested in, in this form, and I couldn't believe that that it was really there waiting for me. So my comic book journey began about 10 years ago with Free Comic Book Day.
And I want to ask everyone, what's the comic? We already kind of got yours, Becky, but Tony, what was the one that, started it all?
For me, my stepbrother gave me his collection for Christmas. It was about 20 comics when I was 12.
Wow.
And I was hooked after that. And Avengers 110, I think it was. It's just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I haven't stopped.
That's incredible. And so let's circle into Free Comic Book Day, May the 6th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's going to be a lot of great fun to be had over here with the chance to win one person free comic books for a year?
Well, one person at each of our stores, all three stores, Belleville, Fairview Heights, and Edwardsville. And it's one free comic a week for a year. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Who was the mastermind behind the giveaway?
Oh gosh. We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
We obviously had to stop during COVID.
Right.
So this is the first time we're bringing this raffle back.
Oh,
but I want to
cool.
say it was my business partner, Steve, and I, and our management team at the time came up with this idea of a way to. So let me back up a minute. So Free Comic Book Day it's a nationwide event.
Right.
Sorry, I'm taking your thunder, but nationwide event. And so we came up with ideas of how to get people to our store compared to some of the other stores in the area. And so we thought about this raffle. And so the logistics are you show up before we open. And in Edwardsville, we open at 10, and Belleville's at 10, and Fairview Heights is 9.
Mm-hmm.
If you're there before we open, as Becky alluded to, there's a huge line of people. Anyone in line before we open gets a raffle ticket. Wow. And one of those people will win a free comic book every week for a year.
Talk about the incentive to get someplace early, huh?
Yeah.
You got to get to our store extra early since we open.
Yep, since you open at 9.
We're for the early birds.
Well, and plus, I'm seeing that everyone's going to be able to grab 3 comics of their choice for free.
3 free comics. Yep.
And honestly, there's just so much to do. There's going to be a design a superhero contest for the kids. Anybody 12 and under, they get to use their imagination. We have stenciled forms for them to color in for the younger ones, or for the older ones that want to just use their imagination. We have free form sheets. And this contest, there will be a poll, and the winner is going to be used in our promotional materials throughout the year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they redraw the book, and they redraw the character, and they put it on bookmarks, and we put it on like flyers and things like that.
That's incredible. That is so cool. So there's something for every age group whenever they come in on May the 6th.
Correct.
We'll have some artists there doing characters, and as well as a few surprise guests that you might be surprised to see.
Uh-oh, I'm nosy. I don't know.
Well, it's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
It is a surprise. I'll never tell. But you gotta come to Heroic to find out.
Yeah.
That's right.
You bring up a good point that it's for everyone.
Yes.
So the free comics are categorized. There's some that are for adults. There's some that for teens, and some for younger kids. And everybody gets 3 free comics.
That's incredible.
Fun for everyone.
I just can't wrap my head around this because I'm going. Wait, hold on. So you have a chance to win 1 free comic every week for a year.
Mm-hmm.
You, no matter what, walk in the door, you're able to pick up 3 free comic books. You have the different opportunities, whether it's design a superhero or you name it. I mean, this isn't something you guys kind of develop overnight. This is experience paying off, huh, Tony?
Absolutely. So Becky, when was the first one?
This was first launched back in 2002, but it was designed in 2001 by Joe Field.
Wow.
And it was first launched by the country's largest distributor of comics, Diamond Comics, back in 2002.
That's incredible.
So it's been going on for 20 plus years. And like you said, we've had the opportunity to fine tune it and make it a big fun event.
Yeah.
And it is something for everyone, and it's all day long, and we may even spill over into Sunday. If we still have books, you're welcome to come in on Sunday and grab some free comics and get into the hobby. It's an opportunity for people to get a comic that they may already like or read. There's some, they don't have a specific Batman, but there's like Justice League, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. There's a Spider-Man. Or there are some kids comics, some horror comics. So you can try something that you like or try something new and get into a new book or series that you may not read.
Well, hell, it's the perfect time. You get it for free.
Yep.
Why
Absolutely.
not try something new when you don't have to pay for it, too? You can check it out. If it works for you, great. You have a new genre or you have something new. But if you don't like it, well, you didn't spend any money. Win. Hashtag win. I'm liking that.
I love it.
So take me through, and I'll ask all of you guys the atmosphere. We were going to talk for about 15 minutes. We're going to blow by that. We're going to take you to the top of the hour with Heroic Adventures.
All right.
And
I like your style.
It's one of these things where whenever you have good people that are so passionate about something, it makes the conversation fun. And I just want to ask you guys about the atmosphere of the storefronts. What's it feel like when you guys are in there, with the customer base? What's the atmosphere like for some folks who haven't been yet?
I will field this question because I have been at the store, so I feel like I live at the store. I was living there for a minute, and they were like, "You can't sleep here.
I sleep under the desk.
Fine.
Yeah,
that looks great. We like selling games, but we really like the community more than that, and we're all about the community in the store. And everybody just is so passionate about the games that they're into, about the comic books they like, about the nerddom, geekdom that they're into. So it's just like people hanging out, talking about all these things that they love, and everybody wants to hear what you have to say. Like, people want to know what your D&D campaign is. People want to know about the new comic that you're collecting. I want to know about the new Warhammer army you're building and painting. And and we're all just talking about it. And
so
I get to
cool.
do that every day. It's an amazing job, and they can tell you the same thing. You just get to talk to people that share your interest, and you just have fun with it. Like, we have a great time at the store. Like, it's not like other stores where it's all like stuffy and like, you feel like this need to like be like straight-laced and everything. Go in there, have fun, be a nerd, geek out on your thing that you like, and we're going to be there doing it with you.
Well, and that's what I think is so cool, because I'm on fantasybooks.com, or as I like to call it now, FBI. That is just so, I love this. I think that is just,
we got to get this guy's shirt
today. Yeah, I want a damn shirt. That's exactly right.
You got one.
So I'm looking at your calendar, which I think's great. Not only is it a place to buy, sell, or to buy, and go in, but there's also a bunch of different activities that we can participate in these storefronts. Who is in charge of managing the calendar, if you don't mind me asking? Is it a collective thing?
Well, Dan, when we brought Dan on, we knew we were going to do this with him eventually. He may not have known it, but Dan was recently promoted to our events and community outreach.
Right on!
Position.
Congratulations! Yeah.
So Dan is taking on that lead role. Becky at Heroic manages the calendar with me, and
really cool.
We have someone else. You do it at your store now.
Right, I do. And there, every day of the week, there's a game that you can come play. There's a community for that game. There's people that are already playing that game. Yeah. I mean, whether it's like the card games, they do a ton of the card games at the Edwardsville store. We do a lot of the miniature games at the Fantasy Books in Fairview. So any game that you're into, you're going to find a night of the week that you can come in and play that game, and there's going to be people there that are already in that game, already in that community, and you can just pop right in and join.
Well, what I like about this, too, I'm looking, because for me, I'm the worst when it comes to going to things. I mean, I'm just the worst, and I'm honest about it. If it's like, normally I'm a scheduled person, so I like to be home around 7:30, so that way I have an hour of The Sopranos or, whatever. Then I get to, go to bed, wind down, whatever. But if I miss it by like a millisecond, all hell breaks loose. It's like, oh, now the world's ending. Oh, now I can't watch. Well, this is perfect for me, because there's time slots for everybody.
Absolutely.
It's not everything starts at 9 or everything starts at 4. It really is tailored for the person. This is great.
Yeah.
And I got to ask you, what's your favorite night of the week to be at the store to watch some of this gameplay?
For me, it's Thursday night. I'm the Warhammer guy. Warhammer has been on Thursdays. It's always on Thursdays. For the decade I've been playing in the store, I've been there almost every Thursday night. And I mean, our group has grown. We're running a lot of tournaments. So we run tournaments every second Saturday of the month. And those tournaments have grown our community that come in and play during open play nights. So you'll find 15, 16 people there playing Warhammer on a Thursday. And that's my people.
Wow. And you aren't kidding about the Fairview Heights location about events going on. I am telling you what, I am not. It almost looks like our calendar, and we cover 18 communities, Oh, my goodness. Well, and I got to ask you, and I'll ask everyone this question because I think it's kind of cool, was there a genre that you guys hated growing up? Like you said, superheroes, don't even talk to me.
Okay, well,
this.
hate is a strong word,
true,
man.
That's true.
You're putting words in my mouth. It wasn't
Disliked.
my thing. I'm just going to go there.
And so, was there one, though, for you, Becky, where you're like, I don't know if I'm into this stuff, that you kind of maybe your attitude changed, your opinion about it changed working here?
I don't know. I've really had an open mind about things.
Yeah.
I wasn't really censored that much as a child. My mom always believed that I should be able to read whatever I wanted without too much restriction. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, there were certain things that reading was not okay to read. But for the most part, I was allowed to read with Will. And I can't really think of anything that I didn't like or anything that was really just not...
Yeah. No, that's okay.
That I wasn't really into.
Anything?
Games.
Really?
When Steve and I bought the first game, we were like, we have no idea what this stuff is. I'll never forget. The first time I worked at the fantasy game store, I'm used to working at the comic book store.
Yeah.
First of all, you asked a question earlier that I want to address. So I've always been the owner since 2004. I've been an owner. And last year, I left my corporate job.
Oh, congratulations!
And I tell people I sell fun every day.
Yep.
And I'm so happy I can't even tell you. So it's amazing. So anyway, I'm used to comic books, and the comic book customer, they come in, they're talking like, wow, who would win, Superman or the Hulk, or Batman or Superman, all that kind of stuff, and they buy their comics and they leave. The first time I worked at the game store, I see the guys come in, and I'm just like doing my thing and working, and I'm like, oh, they're still here. And then the pizza guy comes, and I'm like, what is going on? These guys are here 8, 9, 10 hours. And I'm like, I don't get it. What is it about these games that these guys are here all day? And Dan said, they're painting their armies and they fight with their armies and stuff. And I'm like, no, what is this? What is this? So I didn't get it. But now it's awesome. Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, the tabletop games. We do board games. It's all just awesome.
So we got 30 seconds left in this. Take us through May the 6th. Once again, when, where, and how much fun are we going to have?
So May the 6th at all 3 Fantasy Books locations, 10 o'clock in Belleville and Edwardsville, 9 a.m. in Fairview Heights. Get in line before we open. You'll get a raffle ticket. One person at each store will win free comic book every week for a year. We're going to have lots of fun. Design a superhero contest. There'll be some surprise guests. 3 free comics for everyone who comes through the door. It's going to be a great time.
That was exactly 30 seconds. That was
perfect.
impressive. We're out of time.
Hire this guy.
We're out of time today. I'll see all of you bright and early back here at 9 o'clock on the dot. And I'll see you guys at the United Way Power the Purse fundraiser this evening at 5:30. So on that note, have a great day and try your best to stay out of jail.